Hello, everyone. My name is Vera Takakura, and I'm here to introduce spirit tech concepts through my Zen Tech series, breaking down a couple of concepts as modules that make up the group light work that I developed called Co-Session, and how I've introduced or utilized different technical concepts in the energy and light work that I facilitate today. So I'd like to talk about encapsulation. In technology, encapsulation is the process of wrapping data with information it needs to move properly through a system. In networking, that means data is given layers that help it to be transmitted, routed, and understood correctly at its destination. At its core, encapsulation is about structure, containment, and preserving the integrity and accuracy of the data while it travels. So, a simple way to understand this is to think about mailing a letter. You don't just send or put a piece of paper in the mailbox and send it out loose and in the open. You actually place it in an envelope, you put the needed information on the outside, and that structure helps to move that through the postal system to the right destination with the information safely contained with no compromise. I'd actually like to really let me share a slide real fast that should give us a nice quick visual on that. As you can see here, I've broken it down in a manner that basically just kind of puts it side by side where, writing a message, placing it in an envelope, putting a source and destination address on it and sending it through the mail so that it can be delivered or received on the other end has its parallels to the way that it actually pairs up with how energy is sent out. Basically, in essence, you are the message, your energy body is the envelope, and the Akashic field is the post office. So, in thinking about it in that manner, this is where I begin drawing the spiritual parallel with this work. One of the foundations of my work is the idea that our energy can be understood in ways that parallel data. So if energy moves, it carries information, it can be affected by interference and shifts, and it benefits from structure, just like I mentioned in the slide. So if energy functions like data, then it also makes sense that it would benefit from the idea of encapsulation. In my work, that's where sacred geometry actually comes in. I see sacred geometry as a kind of energetic envelope where it's a structured container that helps support boundaries, coherence, clarity, and even provides energetic hygiene in our field. And so it actually helps us manage the energetic information we're receiving and sending out at the same time. If it's creating an energetic boundary for us to operate safely within and from, we're able to see that sacred geometry is not only symbolic or this beautiful design to look at, it's actually functional for our uses in lightwork. So I'm going to share an example of what that looks like really quickly. Let me share that slide. So in this diagram, I'm showing that sacred geometry can operate in our energetic field by, obviously with our intention, just placing that, in this case, the diamond or the octahedron around our energy field, activating it. And once it's active, being able to actually understand that it's providing a boundary for us to be able to manage what energetic information comes in or what we want to send out. By having this perimeter, we can actually even expand it out so that we can distance ourselves from reacting to being bombarded by energy around us. So this really is helpful for maybe public spaces, for example, or a lot of places where it's kind of dense or crowded. So I always see this as a default configuration I put in my space that allows me to define it and also expand it out so that I can put some space between myself and anything that may want to kind of invade my personal space. And on top of that, I basically show this top to bottom sequence, just that sacred geometry can also be used to shift into different functions. So in this case, it's the two halves of the diamond of the octahedron, and then intersecting it to the Merkaba, which is another light body vehicle that a lot of us in the light worker space are very familiar with. But it just gives you an idea of how this can visually be used around us to create these boundaries for regulating and managing our energy field, and keeping it clear. It's like creating a nice clear space around us. So to me, if you in this explanation, the envelope does for the letter that I referenced before, what sacred geometry does for our energy field. Hopefully that explanation was brief and simple enough, and I really appreciate everyone listening to me today. Again, my name is Vera. This is Zen Tech, bridging spirituality and technology concepts to help bring greater and easier understanding to the energy and the light work that we all do today. So thank you everyone for listening. I really appreciate all of you, and looking forward to being able to introduce some additional concepts soon, quickly after this as well. Thank you.